changed a lot over the years. That fresh repave was quite tricky for us anyway, for me anyways, but it's kind of come into its own. But as we've raced here the last couple of years, it's become more top dominant, more like Homestead. Bottom just doesn't create enough difference between the top to out excel it. But I think that kind of makes it pretty fun when you're able to have multiple grooves instead of just being stuck on the bottom.
Where do you feel like your mile-and-a-half program is right now?
I would think that that's probably our strongest suit. I think the Hendrick guys are really good. You come to Kansas and you look at the Toyota group as a whole, that they're super strong here. So I would like to think that we were probably a 4th place car here in the spring, given everything going normal, which it didn't. We got crashed. So that's just kind of our tone for the year is we just can't finish where we should.
Is it important in your mind for NASCAR to keep the balance of like these like real tracks, like that's my, I'm not putting that in my mouth, but the intermediates, the true racing tracks in the playoffs when so much is on the line?
I feel like having a good mix of all speedways and road courses, short tracks, whatever, is obviously a good mix. So, having a restrictor plate race and the wild card that it is, you have, I guess you got to throw that in there, but you'd rather have all the tracks be in the finals that are driver induced and not just luck induced.
Did you go to the drivers meeting today?
No, I got late last night. So
how'd it go last time?
Brexton won, the true star. He does good. He wins. I went backwards every time I was on the track, so not so good for me.
Kyle, what does that mean if you'd win a championship this year and Brexton's a little older to take it in? How do you share that moment with him to where he can see a little bit from where he's at, growing his career, to kind of model that with you?
First and foremost, I don't know if it would be bigger for me to get my 3rd or for RCR to get their 7th. It's obviously a huge deal to win in this sport for as difficult as it is. So, but past that, the family aspect and the celebration and things like that, was super awesome. Time number 2 in 2019. Brexton was a little older, and so he got a chance to enjoy and be a part of that one and kind of remember it a little bit, But would certainly be even more awesome to have Lennox be there and Brexton be there now that he's older and cherishing that. And he knows what it's like, or knows what it means to win championships, because he's been doing it at his level, which is much smaller, but for an 8-year-old, it's a big deal to go to the racetrack and beat all the rest of his buddies for the points at the end of the year.
Next week, at 20 points up, do you feel like you control your own destiny? Do you feel like if you do with what your cars are capable of, that you'll advance?
Oh yeah, I feel like if we can do what we're capable of every week, we would be fine. We wouldn't even be worried. But last week we drove from the back all the way to the front and got up into the top 6. Felt like we were ready to challenge for the top 5 finish that we were going to have. And then pit strategy played a role. We went back in traffic again, and we came up forward and got to 11th. And the 2 that we restarted next to, the 19 and the 4, only finished 19th and 20th or something. So we made good ground, which was good. But it's can't have those issues every week and think that you're going to come out of it. So you got to be able to keep that track position when you get it.
We're going to Bristol next week and back on the concrete. You prefer concrete over dirt at Bristol?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. I love Bristol. Bristol's one of my favorite places, obviously, kind of like a second home, if you will. So, I look forward to going there. Bristol's it's a challenging track. You got to be on top of your game all the time. You can really push the car and try to get the most out of it on the bottom, on the top. I've always loved being on the bottom there, and have found most of my wins from the bottom. But it's still, you got to be able to be agile and move around.
Is it a rhythm track, and what goes into in getting into a rhythm at Bristol?
It is a rhythm track. Your rhythms happen at 15 seconds, so it's pretty quick. So you don't have much time to think. You just got to be able to do. And I feel like, knowing those marks and those things that have worked for you in the past, you hit on those again. And I won't lead into too many more secrets.
Would you prefer two dates still for Bristol, or just a single date for it?
I think everywhere should only have one date. If you can't fill the stands, then you get one. That's it.
This is Austin Dillon, driver of the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.